point behind the
yeah, and Jane Diouf has been with the team for quite a long time, and he has been there single-handedly pushing the team. You know, there was a time that he finished second at the latter part. In fact, that game that he lost in the last match could have, you know, given him the title, but then he lost the game and then he slipped second.
Yes.
So maybe it's the same thing that we see now. But let's talk about Real de Banjul, Young Africans and Hawks. They also occupying 14 positions, only points. Only with goal difference. Real is having +3, Young Africans -1, and Hawks -3. Hawks is bouncing back to the first division. Young Africans also were promoted last year, and they happened to maintain their position last year in the league. So are we seeing the same thing here? Because Real, as of last year, what position were they occupying as of last year in the league?
Going into the break second.
Second.
6
after
points.
the break?
They maintained their second up to the end of the season. Yes. So this time around, they started slowly.
But even last year, they started slowly.
Last year they started slowly. After week 5, that's where they started winning up to the end of the race. But this time around, it was a mixed results. Because goal scoring is very difficult for these players. This season, for the first round, 2 players shared the same number of goals. That's Madi Fati of Serekunda United, scored 6 goals. Moudou Sarr of Real de Banjul also is with 6 goals. You understand?
But it's not a new thing for Jaisa. He has been, or he was awarded the top goal scorer.
Yeah, because if you check last season, Hassan was the overall top goal scorer after both the first and second round. Hassan scored 9 goals. You know, and this time around, these 2 players
just only at the break.
After the league.
After the league.
Yeah,
no, I mean, now just going to the break, they have each scored 6 goals. So maybe by the time we see the end of the league, they will have, you know, at least
more than 6.
More than 6. That's more than 9.
Yeah, which Hassan scored last season. But talking about this top goal scorer issue, it has been a problem in Gambia.
Yeah.
By Omar Samba is the record goal scorer in Gambia, 12 goals in a season, and that's 1999. By Omar scored 12 goals in a season in 1999.
I think somebody came close to breaking that record with 11 strikes.
Goals,
yes.
And Bierhoff came with 10. You know, Samate came again with 10. That guy, none of them exceed 11. So this means that Biomar is now sitting somewhere in Banjul with still the record.
Let's see if that is going to be broken by, let's say, Madi Fati and Moudou Sarr. It's possible.
Yes.
Coming to the second round again, they can score double of what they score going to the break. But you know Serekunda United. Is it Blackpool coming back? Oh, because I've been hearing people saying it's Blackpool that is coming back now. Serekunda United, the boys that play at the Serekunda primary school.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of personnel, I think, I mean, more of the players are with Blackpool. So what then, if we would say Blackpool coming back, yeah, it might be possible, but then it is with a new team, a new name now. It is Serekunda United.
Different players, some players.
You see, yes, they are playing together at Blackpool. It's paying dividend in the team, because when you look at them, the composition of the team, like I said, most of them from Blackpool, and the way they play, I mean, these people, tactically, they are very, very good on the ball. You know, they possess the ball very, very well, and it has to do with the team playing together for such a long time. See, if players spend a lot of time together, they easily understand each other. You'll see that when I have the ball, Babugar will know where I will run. Look at Barcelona. I mean, Barcelona is dominating world football now. Because of what? The composition of the team started together at the La Masia. They called it the La Masia Academy. The likes of Messi, PK, and all those. And when you look at their final against Man United in the last Champions League final, 9 players started in that team, came through the Barcelona youth system. So you will see that when players spend a lot of time together, it is always at the advantage of the team. Yes.
Well, that's good. Babukar Kamara, or Babukar Njai, Serekunda United and Samga, do they have the same way of playing now? Because if we are seeing, you know, players that have been together for quite a long time, now playing in the first division, and Samga being an academy for a long time, now, you know, now we cannot see an academy anymore because there is no academy system in place at Samga. It's only the team that they are concentrating on, that's Samga itself. Do they have the same style, the same playing style?
Well, okay, you have to look, the maturity of Samga is quite different from that of Serekunda United. You understand? Because Samga has been in the system for so long, from second division to first division. Serekunda United came into the second division, if I remember, 2-3 seasons ago. From there, they moved on to the first division after spending 1 or 2 seasons in the second division.
Only 2 seasons.
Only 2 seasons, okay. Yeah. So Samga has been in the system for so long. So you know these players at Serekunda United, they're used to playing with each other in the Nawetan level, and this warga every weekend at Serekunda school. You know, so them coming together, they pose a very big threat for these teams. I wish you witness Walidan against Serekunda United. You'd surprise, you'll not say, this is not the Walidan I know. Don't talk about Real de Banjul. There is no system football that they play. They just come and play all out on you, defend, attack at the same time, defend at the same time. 2 dangerous players. You have this Madi Fati, you have Lamin Demba, they call him Master.
Master, yeah.
If these 2 players function in any game, likely the opponent is going to lose that game. But if any team is able to control these 2 players, there is a likelihood that you might go home with a point or even all the 3 points.
Okay. Babuka, let's talk about Steve Biko, the Bakau Giants. They occupy now 9th position with 13 points. Only 2 points adrift of the relegation zone. Only a point adrift of relegation zone, because Amphosis is occupying the 11th position with 12 points, and Walidan with 11 points. So it's 2 points different from Walidan and only a point different from Amphosis. And last year, could you recall last year, it was drama when Steve Biko was fighting to maintain their position. It was only the last game that helped them survive. Against Samga. Because they should have, you know, if they happen to lose that game,
they're down into the second division.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, it
was a draw.
It was a draw. They happened to grab that point and they maintain. Now we are seeing them somewhere near that position of last time.
Yes.
Are they still going on the right track?
No, you see, it is. I would say it is still the same old story as far as Steve Biko is concerned. You see, Steve Biko, in fact, 3 seasons ago, we are relegated from the first division. But luckily for them, it culminated with the increment of the teams from 10 to 12.
And it was Steve Biko and Sivu Hotel.
That's where we are relegated. But then the following season, Sivu could not still maintain their position.
Yeah, and they are still down in the second division.
They are still down in the second division, struggling to come up. And then since from that season, that Steve Biko we are relegated, I mean, it's like the same old story for them. Yeah, except one season when they were fighting with Samga and Walidan for the title. You know, they were in the title race until the final 2-3 games of the season,
and they slip off.
And then they slip off. But other than that, I mean, all the seasons have been poor for them, and you could see it. But then they have the experience. See, when it comes to, I mean, relegation fight, experience also counts a lot. So they have the experience, and I believe, like I said with Walidan, they also, the opening 2-3 games of the season will determine. And I think it will be very, very crucial to stamp their authority on the league from the first day of the second round in order to spare themselves from the relegation dogfight as it happened with last year. Because if it happened, I mean, they might not be second time lucky. So,
well, if experience will help these teams to survive the relegation zone, who is at stake now?
To survive? Walidan need to work on 2 things.
But if we are saying experience, Walidan, they already have the experience of coming to the second round and then winning their games. Danford is also the same thing. So are we saying Serekunda United now?
Well, it depends on how the going is. When the going gets tough, that's where the experience comes. So this fixture is not yet out. The 2-3 games, it depends on who the opponent is going to. If Walidan is going to have the big teams in the 2 games, take example of Authority, Birkama United, the top 3 with Samga. If Walidan is any of these 3 teams in the first game, and God forbid if they happen to lose, then they're going to start struggling from there. If you remember last season, during the second round, the last 2 teams during the second round lost 2-3 games. It was Africell and the Interior. They were at the bottom. At the top.
It's now Setmati.
Yes. They struggled up to the end of the league, and that's how they were relegated.
Okay.
So it's tradition in Gambian football.
Well, yeah. Now that we've gone to the break, the last game was played sometime 48 hours ago. Yeah. Yeah. At the various venues, Serekunda East, Banjul, and at the Independence Stadium. Now the transfer window is open